of faith. Right? All right,
It is a
motherfucker.
crisis of faith.
You wanted it on video? You'll get it on video and audio. We
Fine.
will not lose touch just because I'm gonna have a kid. We will still hang out. We will still watch movies. Some of them might have to be a little more PG, but we will still be friends. Don't
That's
worry.
what that's what everyone keeps saying, but people just keep leaving me. Anyway,
Woo!
you're not the first Eddie on this podcast. Anyway, that's are you ready to talk about the summer blockbuster of 2024?
Who's the other Eddie?
Tell me to hit the intro.
Shema, regrettably, hit the fucking intro.
Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
I'm the other Eddie, apparently.
Oh my god, that is classic 430. And reviewing the Fall Guy, this is the rollback. Fall hard. Fresh off an almost career-ending accident, stuntman Colt Seavers has to track down a missing movie star, solve a conspiracy, and try to win back the love of his life while still doing his day job. This is the new movie by director David Leitch, who previously directed Bullet Train, Deadpool 2, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and Atomic Blonde. And here he is with his new movie, an adaptation of the old 80s TV show that our parents used to watch, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, Teresa Palmer, Stephanie Sue, Winston Duke, and other colorful actors. So, you were vocally not excited about this. I was vocally not excited about this. I am not a fan of David Leitch. You liked his previous movie,
I really
and
like Bullet Train. I did not know that he directed Deadpool 2.
eh,
I'm so is he directing the next one? Is he directing?
no,
Okay.
no. Deadpool 3 is directed by fuck, what's his name? Sean Levy. Sean Levy.
He's an
Oh,
uncredited director of John Wick?
of the first one.
Well, wait, but did he just direct parts of it or
Parts of it, yeah.
oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Everything else was done by Chad Stahelski. Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's the one with the juice.
This guy is weird. He's very like on the verge of greatness, but never quite crossing over. If that makes sense. Um,
I have been vocal in the past that I am not a fan of David Leitch. I find his humor to be absolutely terrible. And to the point where I think it's damaging. Because here's what this guy does. He makes an action movie, he fills it to the brim with famous people, most of them just doing random cameos.
uh-huh.
And he doesn't make them do anything funny. Like in a Bullet Train, there were these random scenes where like the guy was just walking and he would just bump into Channing Tatum in a seat and he was like, "Hi, I'm Channing Tatum. Goodbye." And that's it. He would just that's all he would do. And then Sassy Beats was there and they didn't even let her do anything cool. And then Sandra Bullock was in the end and it's like, "Oh my god, it's Sandra." Like this guy just expects us to go like, "Oh my god, it's this person." And like it's just I hate it. I fucking hated it. I hated the humor in Bullet Train. I hated that every joke was just like person gets shot, person reacts by going, "Did you just shot me?" Like the whole fucking movie is that. I hate it. I hate that you're laughing. I hate that you're laughing at that. It's not. And it's full of scenes like that. And so
Sometimes,
does
sometimes style and substance work. Like sometimes, like razzle to hit him with a little razzle dazzle. Sometimes that's a good thing. It's not always a bad thing.
it's bad when Easter eggs are becoming your whole content. And that's my
You're
problem with
right.
this
You're
guy.
right. That is bad, but I never felt like in Bullet Train that it was all one big gimmick. I like the story. I like the lead up. I like each of the assassins. The only thing I wish that they would have done was that they had all the assassins team up against the bad guy. That's my only note for Bullet Train. I like the humor. I thought it was actually funny.
See that here's the thing: this same quote unquote gimmick that you say is not present here is present in Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. It's full of random cameos, like Ryan Reynolds is in there, Kevin Hart is in there. Like it's just a
Talking
bunch.
about Ryan Reynolds. Is Kevin Hart in there?
Yeah, Kevin Hart like just meets them on a plane and just tells them to shush, and like that's it, and then he just goes back to his seat. Like it's full of random shit like that, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. I don't like this guy, and I don't like that he was just given like so many like projects like this. So now we arrived to the Fall Guy, which got sold on the charisma that we all experienced while watching Barbie last year, that Ryan Gosling is so good at doing comedy that maybe this is the project that he needed. We didn't get another Nice Guys. We're not gonna get a Ken Solo movie, so maybe this is where he gets to shine. And I hate to say this, but it is amazing how many of Leach's faults I forgive when I get a very charismatic actor at the front, because god damn it, Ryan Gosling steals this movie. He is so goddamn funny in this, and it pisses me off how he manages to make it work. It really pisses me off.
So, okay, I don't. How is this? I don't vehemently dislike this film anywhere near as much, or not. I don't hate David Leitch as much as you do.
Yeah,
I mean, he's fine. He's serviceable, and it's fair to say you demand better. That's fair.
yeah.
Um,
I do them better.
what's called John Wick? You know I love John Wick. Atomic Blonde, I liked it. Deadpool 2, I liked it. Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, it was probably in the top half of Fast and Furious movies. Granted, there's 11 of them, but I think it's in the top five. Nobody, and I know he only produced Nobody, but I like that one. Bullet Train, I liked it.
You know
Violent,
I hated
I
Nobody.
really like that one. Um,
Yeah.
Fall Guy, I was so disengaged with the story. Like, and Ryan Gosling and his humor is definitely the best thing about this. But oh God, this felt. I watched this movie on Monday.
Mhm.
I was straining to remember details when I was writing up the video review I was gonna do. And here's how nonchalant I am with this movie. I'm not doing a video review for this one. That's how much I'm like, I have no opinions because the movie was forgettable. If it was on Netflix, it would probably be like a great Netflix movie, but it's not a great film, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To me,
Um, yeah, and like, look, the movie's trying to sell itself as this is a love letter to stunt people,
yeah.
which is it's a good thing. Like it's a good value to have. Of course, those people deserve to have their story told as well. It's really cool to have them in the
During the
limelight.
movie, like there's not an Oscar for a stunt thing. Sadly, no.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
even-
yeah, and it's really funny because like in the last this has been an ongoing topic. Like this has been an ongoing thing, like, hey, Oscars, there should be the one for stunt people. And last year they did like a little presentation on like what they talked about. Like they didn't give an Oscar, but they did dedicate like a section of the awards to celebrating the stunt people, which I guess is like a little leeway into like eventually giving them an Oscar. They are doing a new category next year, which is best casting, which I think is going to be pretty interesting.
They don't really have
Um,
an Oscar for casting.
they don't, and I think casting directors deserve an award like that. So yeah,
Did not know that.
yeah, and Sarah Hallett Finn is going to sweep every year.
What is she casted?
She is the casting director for Marvel. Like she's
Oh no. No, Marvel cannot do that. They cannot. They can't pull a Pixar. They cannot pull a Michael Jordan just dominate for decades.
Why not?
Because where's the fun in that?
I don't know. Like, did you see Jordan win all those like those 6 years back to back to back? Like it's I don't know, pretty damn good.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, I don't care for Jordan. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a goat. You can be the greatest of your decade, but there's no such thing as the goat. You want to talk basketball for a minute?
I don't want to talk basketball for a minute. I don't want to talk basketball with someone that roots for the Cowboys. Anyway, um, anyway, back to the Fall Guy. Yeah, so the movie's trying to sell itself in this like, oh look, we're doing it for the stunt people, and I don't think that's the, I don't think it was on purpose. I think they grabbed it afterwards because I don't think that was the original intention. I don't think this movie was made to celebrate the stunt people. I think they thought like, hey, like no IP plus Ryan Gosling plus act turn it into an action movie, guaranteed blockbuster, which kind of sucks because the movie
I don't
I
know.
feel like it came out I feel like it came out a little too early. I feel like it would have been perfect for what's the holiday that's coming up?
Memorial Day.
I feel like it would have been perfect for Memorial Day.
Did you want it to go up against Furiosa?
No. I would have preferred Furiosa over this,
Yeah.
obviously. But it's been it kind of seems tailor-made. Like it's one of those movies that kind of deserves to be like a big summer blockbuster, and it's just not. And then 2 weeks after it came out, it's already coming out on VOD because we live in a terrible time for movies where like if a movie doesn't it's not a box office juggernaut, it will just get dumped into streaming services 2 weeks after, which kind of sucks. Like I think that's super unfair.
Yeah.
Um, because I do think this movie, even though I don't like Leech, I do think this movie deserved a little bit better. I do think it's got some fun moments. I do think it's got some terrible moments, but I think there are moments that the good moments overtake the bad ones. And at the middle of it is Ryan Gosling.
Mhm.
He, goddamn it, this is such a likable dude. Like for a guy that can play such a hunk and like a quiet, serious character, like in Blade Runner or like in Drive, he can also be so goofy and so funny, like in Nice Guys or like in Barbie. And he's been so diverse with his career. This feels like he did like every once in a while he'll disappear. He'll do like a one for me, and then he'll do like a one for them. And I feel like this is definitely a one for them. Um, because everyone else who's in this movie, Emily Blunt, Taylor Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, all of these people I like. I don't know. They kind of feel like extensive cameos in the way of like Leech usually does,
Mhm.
which is something that I don't love. Hannah Waddingham, who I think is so funny and like deserved a lot more after doing 3 seasons of Ted Lasso. I think she's underused here. Like I don't think they let her be like as funny as she was in Ted Lasso. Emily Blunt, I have no idea what accent she's doing. It's I have no idea what she's doing. Aaron Taylor Johnson just looks like he's on coke the whole time. Um, and I guess this is all for good. Like I guess it's supposed to be funny, but it's hit or miss. The comedy in this, when it's not Gosling, it's really hit or miss.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think I think this movie feels I made a quote once where I talked about how hollow that Kevin Hart heist movie was. It felt more hollow. This movie feels like it has more heart to it, but it feels like it's just missing something. It's missing that next gear. And it's an original IP to some degree. Like, but I didn't know that. I did legitimately did not know this was based on the Fall Guy TV show until you told me.
yeah,
Um, it feels like it's missing something. Like I see the 125 to 150 million dollar budget, and I'm like, where did it go?
yeah.
Because a
I
lot
mean,
of
there
it
were
is
like
effects.
yeah, there were some cool explosions at the end, which looked kind of practical, but not a lot. And I don't know. I think the problem here is Leach. I think a director like Shane Black would have fucking killed this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like someone else,
Who directed The Nice Guys?
Shane Black, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He would have fucking killed it. He would have demolished this motherfucker.
Yeah, like I feel like a director like that because even by the end where like they premiere like the actual trailer for like the movie that they're trying to make
Oh,
and
just
they change and it's Jason Momoa. It's like there you are, Leech. There you are with your stupid fucking cameos, like over there again. Like you could not like keep it in. You had to do it. Um, I don't know this guy. Like I don't mean to insult him. Like I don't think he's like I don't think he's like a dumb guy. I don't think he's like a bad person. I just don't like these kind of movies. They feel so, I don't know, safe. They feel like so like they're not artistic expressions. Like they feel like they're movies just made to appeal. They feel I don't know, like let's just put a bunch of pretty people in a movie and just have them do stuff. And Gosling can pull it off because he's got charisma for days, but not everyone else can. And I just don't think this is the kind of project that I want to see. Kind of sucks. It feels like I feel like we missed out on like a could have been good movie, and we got like an okay one. I will say this: I think this is my favorite out of all of Leach's films, because I don't care too much um for Hobbs and Shaw. Atomic Blonde is like a close second. I think that one's pretty fun. Bullet Train, I guess, and I guess Bullet Train and Deadpool are in last place. Man, am I growing old, or every day I care less about Deadpool? Like
I think
every
he's
day
oversaturated. He
every day I
he's
find him
becoming their
less
new
funny.
Batman. I think that's the problem.
I think it's just no. See, at least Batman, like we have a different version every once in a while. So like, to try something new. Deadpool, God, like it's gotten to the point where like not only am I disliking Deadpool, I'm disliking people that like Deadpool.
I
Like
see.
it's gotten to that point.
There's nothing. See, Deadpool's awesome in limited quantities, but when like they're just shoving it in your face constantly, whether it's a video game, movie, comics, cartoons, that's the part where it begins to get annoying. Also, I think he's so synonymous with Ryan Reynolds that whenever you see Ryan, you automatically are like, oh yeah, Deadpool, because he's so like synced with the character. In 20 years, there will be another Iron Man. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get another Deadpool after Ryan Reynolds is done with the character.
We could so easily have another Deadpool. Like
Oh, they're going to be compared to Ryan Reynolds at all stops.
I don't know. I don't know. I think more actors should play characters that already exist. Like for example, I've said this before. I hate that it's Hugh Jackman again as Wolverine. Like I hate it. I want to see another actor as Wolverine. That man wants to sing and dance. Why are you making him put on the tights again?
I
Like
mean, apparently they told him you don't have to show abs, just show your arms, and he was like, "All right, man, I'm not
it's
going to
like
judge it."
you've seen The Boys, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so Soldier Boy, the actor that plays Soldier Boy, he like worked out a lot to like buff up for
yeah,
the character.
yeah.
And when he showed up, they were like, "Why did you do that? Like, we could have just padded your suit." And he
What
was like,
did he say?
"What do you mean you could have padded my suit?" And it's like, "Yeah, do you see Anthony Starr who plays Homelander?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, his suit is padded. He's not fit.
He's like, "Fuck."
And I was like, "Oh, good." It's like, "God damn it." Yeah. Anyway, back to Fall Guy.
You
I
know,
also don't have a lot to say. There's some cool moments, like that scene where he's crying in the car listening to Taylor Swift.
no,
Pretty, pretty, pretty fucking funny. But again, that's the Leech humor. Like he can't just be crying in the car. Somebody has to be like, "Are you crying listening to Taylor Swift?" Like,
maybe.
it's the same. It's his same fucking joke. It's always you can't just have something funny. It's see people pointing out what's funny. This is humor made for people that can only watch streamers because they can't just experience something. They have to have someone talk about what's happening.
You know, now that you mention it, dude,
Did I crack the case?
is that why that's that new like comedy like dryness that I'm
I
not
think
understanding?
so. Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't even call it dryness. Like it's just, I mean, it is dry, but like it's not like dry humor. It's just I don't like that. Like, why are you pointing out something that we can all clearly see? It doesn't make it funnier. Or it can be funny, but not when every joke is like that. Like people were howling at the theater just by him like just listening to the song. Like it felt like a scene that could have been like him as Ken in Barbie. And people were laughing and they had to like cut it to be like, are you listening to Taylor Swift? And it's like,
Were
God
the
damn it,
theaters
like for
actually
real.
laughing?
My theater was laughing a lot with that scene.
Huh. I did not
And
know that. Man,
it's like, why? Like it's just I don't know. Things like that.
are we
Anyway,
are we snobs because we expect more from our films?
I don't think it's snobby to expect more of our films. And I especially don't think it's snobby to expect it out of a summer blockbuster. Like I don't think there is a smartness in making a dumb action film.
Mhm.
There is, because Pacific Rim and Transformers are not the same.
Yeah.
And 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 Fury Road is not the same as a Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like you can be a big loud action piece and be tight and be well structured and be funny even, because Fury Road has some funny moments,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's bad to expect more, especially from a guy that wanted to, like, quote unquote, represent the whole industry, which I don't know, man. Like it kind of sucks that this movie is both kind of better than his other movies, but also not as good as like other movies by other people.
It feels mid.
It feels mid. Except for the Ryan Gosling performance, which I think is what keeps this afloat.
I
Also,
Yeah.
I do think it goes a little too long.
Dude, it was an hour and a half. Was it an hour and a half? Or was it 2 hours? I think it was an
It
hour and
was
a half.
2 hours. It was 2 hours.
It feels a little long. It feels like they could have cut at least 10 to 15 minutes and they would have been fine. The action sequences, for what it's worth, like we're not talking about the one big thing that they want to talk about. The stunts are good. There's no
Oh
denying.
yes,
Stunts are solid.
yeah, and I like how it takes its time to be like, have people on a set talking like they're on a set, and they don't feel the need to like dumb it down or anything. Like it feels like everyone, like it felt like you're in a set. And
Yeah.
it was cool to see that, represented and everything. Of course, it's cool, and of course the scenes with the dogs are fucking fantastic. But
Oh yeah. Fuck. Or what, I don't remember the word, but yeah, balls.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, other than that, Leech, still not a fan. Like I went to see this with a couple of friends,
yeah.
and I had told them like I'm not a fan of this guy, and like we walked out and we're kind of beaming. We're like, that was kind of fun. And my friend told me like, do you forgive him? And I'm like, fuck no. Like this is barely a start.
It
Like
it's a move in the right direction, I think, for him.
I
If your criticisms are that he keeps doing the samey stuff, Ryan Gosling kind of saves his ass. Maybe he'll get better in the future.
Mhm.
You might be happy to know he turned down the next Jurassic Park film.
I mean I mean, Jurassic Park movie, the last three like kind of sucked, so that they can only go up.
I'll defend Jurassic World. I won't defend the other two.
I will not defend Jurassic World. I think it's overrated as fuck, in my opinion.
It was fun. The other ones wasted all the goodwill that the first movie did. It pulled a what's the movie from Star Wars? The Force Awakens? It
Yeah, it wishes. It fucking wishes.
No, no, no. It didn't exactly recreate the first one, but it did a lot of what the first one did. Like
There's
The Force Awakens copied a lot from A New Hope.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
Mhm.
and here's where I'm going to give you your comparison. I was in the theater
Uh-huh.
when to see all three of the sequel trilogies,
Uh-huh.
and at least and more in the Force Awakens, but in all of them, we all had moments where we audibly gasped, awed, or we went crazy with something that was happening on screen. That did not happen in any of the new Jurassic World movies, especially because in the last one, what's the name of the last one? Fallen Kingdom?
Uh, Dominion?
I
No.
mean, no. Fallen Kingdom is the
It
last
was
one.
Fallen
Dominion
Kingdom.
was
Yes, you're right. You're right.
yeah. There is a moment in the last in Fallen Kingdom where the old cast, Samuel Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern, meet up with Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the little girl. Um, and they have this moment where they like meet finally, and they meet face to face, and they don't do anything for like 6 seconds. They just kind of like stand there.
Because they're like letting the audience freak the fuck out for a minute.
Yeah, and nobody freaked the fuck out. Nobody gave a shit. We were like, why are they just standing there not talking?
So I'm
Like,
looking at this. Apparently, The Force Awakens and Fallen Kingdom
yeah,
are considered the most expensive films ever made. Force
yeah,
Awakens, $447 million. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, 432 million. Jesus, these movies are expensive.
yeah. And it's not because I'm a Star Wars fan, but The Force Awakens is like a stupidly better than Jurassic World. Oh God, I hated Jurassic World. Um,
Eh.
but that's what it do. That's what it be. Um, yeah,
Man, this sucks. We have like very few super positive things to say. It's mostly mid for
it
everything.
is mostly mid, but every once in a while, look, I consider this a very positive show. I feel like there's a lot of very negative people on YouTube who just want to like bash things to bash things. And I don't want to be a part of that. Like I find that very negative. Like it just like I'm almost 30. I can't get angry at a movie anymore. Like I can't. Like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of breath. Like it's no, I'm not going to. But I will say that I didn't go this with super high expectations. And I came out thinking that was a couple hours fun,
Definitely
fully
watch.
spent, definitely watchable. Would happily watch it again at home. Yeah,
Nah.
if I'm with friends who haven't seen it and like they want to see something like this, sure. Like I don't mind
Oh
watching it
yeah.
again.
No, I get you.
Yeah. Not by myself. Not by myself. Like I would not watch this by myself again.
It's so
Uh
unfortunate. This is gonna end up being someone's favorite movie of all time, and it's like, no, 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 no.
yeah.
The world has more things for you.
Yeah. It's like I don't mean to insult this guy, but there's a guy that has a podcast on YouTube. And he was like, my two favorite movies are The Greatest Showman and The Avengers. And I was like, really? Like that's where you ended? Like you're
That's as
like
far as we go.
do you only see like 4 movies a year? Like, I don't mean to insult him, but it's like you kind of have to have a diverse like look. Like you have to see weird shit, and you have to see popular shit, and you have to see like a ton of things. Like my favorite, like I think my biggest contribution to the show because you do not let me edit. It's because you're a control freak.
That shit's gonna change pretty fucking
I
soon.
know. I know. I cannot wait to see you going like you're gonna be with your kid and you're gonna be like that motherfucker is like what is he doing? Um, I feel like my biggest contribution is bringing in weird shit for us to watch. Like I feel like that's what I do here. I feel like that's what I bring. Like I'm like, hey, do you want to see this weird like black and white Czechoslovakian like musical about like a pregnant woman? And you're like, sure, I've never heard of that. And
I'm
then it
game
can
for
end up in
sure.
and he can end up in our top tens. Like it's just fucking wild. Um, I feel like that's what I bring here. Um, I don't know. Like I mentioned, I'm like the movie guy at work. Like I have to. Like people will come up to me at work and be like, "Do you know this one French movie where like this woman has sex with a car?" And she gives birth to like a half baby, half car thing, and she dresses up like a boy and start and look and pretends to be this long lost son for this fireman. And then they find out, and the dad is like, "I don't care, you're still my son. Like, do you know that?" And I have to look at them in the eye and be like, "Yes, I know exactly what movie you're talking about."
Oh God,
And
no.
yeah, yeah, and so I feel like it's important. It's important to watch weird shit, not just these kinds of movies. However, we're here to talk about this specific movie. 2.5 out of 5. It would have been a 2 if Ryan Gosling wasn't so good.
I think I was gonna give it like a five, like 5 out of 10. Like it's
Yeah.
mid. It is the definition of mid. It is not a movie I would actively want to watch again. It's fine. It's forgettable. We're gonna forget this movie in a year. I'm already forgetting about the fucking plot, and I watched it 48 hours ago. That tells you it wasn't good because I love good stories, and this film lacked that.
Okay, it's amazing because like I want to give you all a peek under the curtain. Eddie was gleaming about the movie If, but he had nothing to say about this one.
It was amazing. If you want to watch If, we can dive in because it is for traumatized adults. It's not for kids. It's for the adults that forgot how to have fun.
Interesting. I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, I have tickets to another movie tomorrow, but yeah, I can find a way to squeeze that into my weekend.
Up to you.
Yeah, but Furiosa is coming out this weekend, so I also have that
That's
going on.
Listen.
Yeah, yeah, this weekend is definitely for Furiosa. What a waste! What a waste to not bring back Fury Road for the theaters. Like, why didn't they put
People
Fury
are.
Road? No, no Fury Road in my local theaters. Like, why? Bring it back. I want to see it in 4DX. Like, that's how I wanted to see it. Um,
I'm looking it up.
anyway,
Oh my God, you're right. There's no showings. What the fuck? Why wouldn't you?
why wouldn't you? Like, it's such a waste of opportunity. Like, they brought back the first Dune back in theaters when Dune 2 was about to come out. Like,
That's the
that's a
smart
great
play.
opportunity. It's a
Stupid.
great opportunity because I also a ton of people only saw Dune at home because we were in the pandemic. So,
No.
uh, anyway, well, we scored this. We talked about it. I think that's as much as we can do for this. Yeah, 2.5 out of 5. You gave it a 5 out of 5. Sorry, 5 out of 10. Sorry, some weeks just be like this. Some weeks are just pre-weeks before Furiosa comes out, and this is gonna be a strange little summer as a superhero movie kind of dies down, and we give our attention to other upcoming
IPs.
blockbusters.
Give
Yeah,
it
to
IPs
other
a chance.
IPs. Yeah. Because yeah, we have that coming out. We have there's others. Um,
There's a violent nature for anyone who wants to watch.
what's that?
Oh, it's like a movie supposedly from the killer's perspective, there's no score.
What do you mean?
A violent nature. So you're basically following like a Jason Voorhees on his like killing spree.
Oh, okay.
But there's no
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I've seen this trailer. Yeah.
so I'll probably be reviewing that with him and then maybe you and me do Furiosa.
Sure. I do want to see Hitman, which also is going to come out this weekend on Netflix.
Hitman?
It's the new Richard Linklater movie. And it stars Glenn Powell as a guy who pretends to be a hitman for people that want to hire hitmen. And apparently it's very funny.
Action
But
comedy.
yeah,
All
yeah, it's
right.
an action comedy. And it's gonna be on Netflix, so it's free, basically.
Fuck it. All right, we're reviewing everything here. Comedies,
Yeah.
horror, and suspense thrillers. Let's fucking go.
I mean, it's that or the Garfield movie, and
No, we're not doing the Garfield movie. I put my foot down there. I will give you. I will let you suggest the weirdest fucking anime films. Garfield movie. No.
Jesus. And I feel like I suggest pretty like pretty acceptable anime films. Like I can suggest some weird ass shit and some weird ass
I
anime
was wanting to
films.
see Blue Velvet. Maybe I'll give that one a try. Is it Blue Velvet? What's the one where the girl's not sure? Blue something.
Oh, Perfect Blue.
That one. I want to see that one. That one's been on my list for a minute.
Perfect Blue is good. And then the same director did another movie called Paprika. And I feel like if you watch Paprika, you're gonna be like, man, Christopher Nolan is a hack.
I am down to give it a shot at some fucking.
Like like he stole everything about Inception from this movie. Um yeah.
But yeah.
So that's Fall Guy. Please, we welcome everyone to leave their comments and say what
How
they
wrong
thought.
I am.
Maybe you think that this was a very, maybe you think, maybe you think like, come on, you're being too mean to a dumb action film, and maybe we are, but I don't know. Maybe it's okay to expect a little better. I will say this: Ryan Gosling, perfect. Like absolutely perfect.
Keep it up.
No complaints there. Happy to see whatever he does next. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we're hopefully doing Furiosa, and or Hitman, and we'll see how that comes out. Once again, thank you for following us. Thank you for subscribing. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. It's gonna be our first 1,000, hopefully not the last. And thank you so much for sticking with us. My name is Chema,
I've been Eddie.
and this was the rollback. So
Signing
this is where I would
off.
this is where I would leave a something with sign off, but instead we're gonna have a cameo by. Oh, that's right. We don't do that because we're not hacks.
See, he's not bitter.
Got it.